Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well and staying safe during this time. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Like I said, thank you so much for checking me out. If you haven't done so, please make sure to hit that subscribe button just right below the video. Cool, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And if you're returning, welcome back. Thanks again for your support. I truly do appreciate having you here.
That Sean Memon, who sat in on the SEC meeting with Brad Garlinghouse and Joel Katz, David Schwartz, was also a Sullivan Cromwell attorney. Well, isn't that interesting? So here's just a little write-up on Sean Memon, U.S. Security and Exchange Commission from June 2019 to January 2021. Notice when he left, January 2021. Also notice where he works today, Sullivan and Cromwell, and he was in on that meeting. Or sorry, he didn't go to Sullivan and Cromwell. He used to work for Sullivan and Cromwell, September 2008 to May 2017. And as per this August 2018 document, we can see Sean Memon, or Memon, Deputy Chief of Staff. He was at that meeting with Brad Garlinghouse and David Schwartz. So another connection there that may perhaps get you scratching your head. Sean Memon, who sat in the Ripple meeting with the SEC, miraculously decides to conclude his tenure at the SEC just one day after Clayton files a complaint against Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, and Chris Larson. Now, who knows if he was maybe trying to avoid any conflicts of interest, or maybe he didn't want to be called to the stand or whatever. But it is very, very curious timing, to say the least. Just a month after the SEC lawsuit was dropped, not to mention Jay Clayton also left the day after he brought upon the lawsuit against Ripple and XRP. So another Sullivan Cromwell connection, things that make you go, But guys, I really think the judge is seeing the light now. I think Judge Torres is starting to get it. James K. Filan posting this. This is just the latest update on the Ripple case, SEC versus Ripple. Ripple and the individual defendants have filed their opposition to the SEC's motion for partial reconsideration and clarification of Judge Netburn's DPP ruling, noting that the SEC is simply seeking a do-over. That does not look good for the SEC lawyers. And James K. Filan just tweeting out, BAM! XRP Crypto Wolf saying the SEC started this lawsuit but don't want any Ethereum and XRP documents to be revealed. How much do you think they are regretting suing Ripple? Fred Rispoli down here saying an absolute takedown of Ripple. Only reason for Judge Netburn to agree with the SEC would be political. Hopefully she denies the motion next week, then cue SEC appeal to Judge Torres. If the SEC loses there, that would be the first real likelihood of a settlement, in my opinion. So interesting as we're following this, Jack the Rippler giving us some more information on this, posting an AMB Crypto, just giving us some of the highlights. So the latest updates from the lawsuit points to a potential win for XRP. The ongoing feud between the SEC and Ripple continues in the headlines, as we know. This just details some of the filings, some of the history. Deception under oath. Interestingly, Ripple Labs on February 26th filed their opposition to the SEC's motion for partial reconsideration and clarification of Judge Netburn's DPP ruling. The filing noted that the SEC simply sought a do-over. Again, does not look good on them. CryptoLaw just tweeting out some of the details. Defendants' response in opposition to the SEC's motion for potential reconsideration of ruling on DPP for Hinman speech drafts, emails, and meeting notes. And so he links a link in that tweet. I will link this in the description if you guys want more details. The aforementioned filing stated, though, the following to counter the SEC's motive. The SEC's motion is an inappropriate attempt at a do-over simply because it is unhappy with the court's order on its prior briefing. No pretense that the demanding standard for reconsideration is satisfied here. Extensively litigated for nearly a year, the SEC highlighted the same case issue, however, this time based on a new theory. In a reversal of course, James K. Filan, a famed lawyer, reiterated this development on Twitter that shed light on the case. And to put some authority to Ripple's response, Filan said, bam! As per the tweet that we just read earlier. In fact, plaintiff ignored the previous filings that incorporated former Director of Corporate Finance William Hinman's sworn declaration. It maintained that Hinman's speech expressed the personal views of the speaker and then suddenly changed this narrative. Now the speech was a culmination of and reflected a policy process within the Division of Corporation Finance. Although, if this were the case, John Deaton argued the following, and so then they post John Deaton's tweet. The Ripple lawyers are professional and very tactful in explaining that if the court were to accept the SEC's new theory regarding the speech, that it's the division's opinion, not Hinman's, then the court must accept that Hinman lied under oath. So, damned if they do, damned if they don't. So it goes on for a little bit more. I will link this in the description. Jeremy Hogan weighing in. Wow. I expected Ripple to come out swinging, and this brief did not disappoint. This is the hardest hitting brief thus far in the litigation, and rightfully so. So it looks as though Ripple has got a very, very good chance now, as these lawyers are weighing in. The SEC has spun itself a tangled web here, and I don't expect the judge to help them out on this one. And then Jeremy Hogan just down here saying that he probably will not make a video this weekend, but I am really looking forward to what he has to say on this, maybe the following week, or maybe once we do get some more information, some more updates with regards to the case. Half and half down here just chiming in, and I think this kind of paints an accurate picture. They said 1 minute we want to hit the ball with the bat, and now we want to hit the bat with the ball. But also, there is no ball, and the bat is just a personal possession. However, now it's the department's bat, and the ball was never discussed, but also the department spoke about it. Yeah, this is exactly how convoluted this argument is, and I'm glad these lawyers are weighing in here, although it does not take a rocket scientist to realize what the SEC is doing and how, as John Deaton puts it, they are painting themselves in a corner. I think that was the quote there. Anyway, that is the update with regards to the Ripple and XRP lawsuit. Meanwhile, bringing it back to some news from around the world, sanctions, like I had mentioned in a video I did the other day. I think we're going to hear a lot more about SWIFT, replacements for SWIFT, because of the Russia-Ukraine situation that is going on. Russia obviously wanting to avoid the sanctions being put on by the United States. And so just the other day, I mentioned Ben Swan and how he was saying the BRICS countries were already looking into something that sounded very, very familiar to me. Something that he described sounded exactly like RippleNet. And if you guys didn't catch that video, I will link it up here in the top right-hand corner. And so just more drawing towards this point, ECB President Christine Lagarde calls for crypto regulation to prevent sanction evasion. So because of the fact that they know Vladimir Putin and the president of China likely in cahoots to create their own system to subvert the US dollar, circumvent it altogether, I guess not subvert it, but to circumvent the use of the US greenback altogether, they are trying to figure out ways to do this. In the latest of such scenarios, the ongoing global crisis involving Russia has led to new discussions about the need to impose crypto regulation. So yeah, Europe is getting involved. Russia has over the last few days invaded Ukraine for various reasons, including an ongoing attempt to join NATO. In response to this invasion, which has been condemned globally, several nations, including the European Union, have imposed severe economic sanctions on Russia. But Russia sounds like are not going to take it. However, these sanctions might not have the far-reaching effects on the country as expected because the Russian government could possibly use crypto assets to evade these sanctions. And if you guys didn't see that Ben Swan interview on RT News, I do suggest you watch that video. This possibility has led the president of the European Central Bank, the ECB, Christine Lagarde, to urge lawmakers to approve a regulatory framework on crypto. So this could realistically have an impact a deeper impact, I think, on the Russian sanctions. Lagarde made this call while responding to a question from a reporter on Russia potentially using crypto to evade some of these measures at an informal meeting on economics and finance. She stated the fact that the ECB would implement any sanctions imposed on Russia by the European lawmakers to the latter. So, cryptocurrency regulatory clarity perhaps coming out of this Russia-Ukraine situation. The ECB president conceded that digital assets can be used to circumvent any restrictions imposed on the country, and thus urged lawmakers to improve on the current crypto regulatory framework. This is what we've been asking for years now, and it's taking a war to put this in place? All right, here's a quote. Wherever there's a ban or prohibition or a mechanism in place to boycott or prohibit, there are always criminal ways that will try to circumvent the prohibition or the ban, said Lagarde. So, bringing it back to the whole crypto for criminals narrative, which I think is several steps back. I don't think they should be going there. Nevertheless, she's going there. She further explained that it is critically important that markets and crypto assets be pushed through as quickly as possible so that there can be a regulatory framework within which crypto assets can actually be caught. And just on her point here, and on Ben Swann's point from the video I did the other day, we also have Jim Rickards, courtesy of Golden Key here. I was tagged by George Herpick here on Twitter. Here's what Jim Rickards had to say on CNN the other day.
All these countries are trying to get out from under dollar hegemony, and that's going to happen.
And then there goes the power of the U.S. to impose these sanctions, right?
Correct, because if you, first of all, they're all building alternate payment systems. Even the German foreign minister the other day said Europe needs an alternate payment system. They could do cryptocurrencies. I'm not saying buy Bitcoin. I don't like Bitcoin at all. But you could create a new cryptocurrency with a distributed ledger with China and Putin. So imagine a Xi coin and a Putin coin. They could denominate it in SDRs. That's a special drawing right. That's the world money that comes from the IMF. They could back it up with gold. And notice that the dollar is not involved. Everything I just described doesn't involve the dollar. So that's why this could, if the U.S. doesn't reassert dollar hegemony, one good way to do that would be if the U.S. started buying more gold. I don't expect that to happen, but that would be part of my advice. If the U.S. doesn't do that, again, this whole alternate system, it's being created now. This is not science fiction, but it could affect the dollar very, very rapidly.
And to Jim Rickards' point here, this is not science fiction. This technology exists today. Again, similar to what Ben Swann said in the video I did the other day, Jim Rickards is describing to a T exactly what RippleNet technology is going to do for the world. So are they telegraphing? To me, and I'm going to be optimistic about this, to me it sounds like they are. It sounds like they know that RippleNet leveraging XRP is going to be introduced into the financial system. This is going to be a new way of conducting transactions financially. Now Jim Rickards has said it, Ben Swann said it in 2019, and many other economists are in the know as well. Utilizing an SDR, leveraging XRP for that liquidity, there has never been a better reason to do this than now.
I'm your guy. I will keep you posted. I'm your advocate. I'll be back on a daily basis, usually multiple times per day, with these videos to keep you updated with everything going on. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't done so, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Feel free to share any of my videos with your friends, family, social media, or anybody who may care to listen. Thanks so much for your continued support. I'm always here for you. I want to help you through this time. So thank you so much for continuing to choose me. Enjoy your day, stay safe, and I'll catch you again probably in a couple hours. Thanks, everybody. See you later.